Hey, so today we'd like to make a video about how easy it is to assemble an Ariel Rider e-bike. So we received this question from lots of people online asking us how easy it is to assemble an e-bike, or should I, when I receive my bike, should I take it to a bike shop for them to make the assembly? The answer to that question is it takes about 15 minutes to assemble the whole bike because it already comes 90% assembled. You'll just need to do a few small assembly, and you actually do not need any kind of tools in order to do this because we provide all the tools needed in the box. Today we're going to assemble the W class, and all you need is one pair of scissors and a pump. So just take these pens up. After we take the pens off, we just need to open the box. I just want to show you one thing. All of the Ariel Rider e-bikes comes actually in two boxes. The reason for it is we would like to minimize the shipping damages that can occur. So when you open the box, your bike will look like this. Everything is tightly packed. So from here, we will advise you to take out the saddle because this is the last part that we're going to use. Let's put it to a side. You should take out, these are the pedals and front limb. And this is a very important box. I'll show what is inside this box later on. Next I would like to show you is our toolbox, which came out of the actual big bike box. So inside this you will see all of the necessary tools that you will need and the charger. So this is the quick release of the front tire, this one. So we're going to use this when we're assembling the front tire. So I'm just going to put it to the side. These are all the tools that you will need during assembly of this bike. Actually, there are some parts which you might not even need, but in the future, if you need to give service to your bike or anything like that, you can still use these. So that's why we actually give a full set of tools with each and every bike. Other than that, what we give with our bikes is, in each of these boxes you will find a bottle of touch-up paint. So this comes with all of the models starting from 2017, so that if you have small scratches on your bike, you don't actually need to go to the shop for a touch-up, so you can just use these on your bike. This is the rear tire cap in order to hide the nut and protect it from small impacts. And this is your charger. So the first task that you will need to do is separate the front tire from the frame. So we'll just cut these small white bends. And the front tire and the front mudguard is here. We're just going to put them to the corner. So the next step is, what I usually like to do is unpacking the front fork. And your handlebar is actually tied up to your front fork. The reason that I'm opening this is I would like to put the front tire on first before I do anything else, so that the bike can actually stand without me holding it. So we'll just go ahead and unpack the front fork. Alright, so after we unpack the front fork and the handlebar, the first step that we will need to do is assemble the handlebar to its place. Start from 2017, mid-2017, we started using these easy adjustable stems in all of our models as standard. So I'm just going to place this to its place, and there's a small button on the side of the easy adjustable stem. You're just going to pull it towards you and lift the lid. After you lift the lid, you'll see a screw on this side. So what we're going to do basically is, you're just going to take your hexagonal key, 5mm one, it says on top of it. You're just going to insert it into here and just screw this stem into its place. You don't need to go all the way right now. We're just doing a preliminary assembly at the moment. So you can just lock it up and we're ready for the next step of the assembly. Okay, so for the next step of the assembly, what we prefer to do is, first of all, put the saddle into its place. The reason why we put the saddle into its place is we're just gonna turn the bike upside down a bit, and if I don't put the saddle on, when I turn the bike upside down, the rear side of the bike, the mudguard will touch the floor, so I just don't want to damage the bike. So if I just turn it upside down right now, it will be staying on the handlebar and the saddle. So let's just turn it upside down. As you can see, there's a protector for the fork. We're just going to throw this away. This is not something that you will need. The next step is just unpack the front tire and the mudguard. Alright, so our next step will be putting the front mudguard into its place. For this, as you can see, there are two screws here. I'm just gonna unscrew the one at the rear side, at the rear fork. And you can take out this cap out of it. And I'm just gonna place this in this location. And screw this mudguard into its place. For the moment, you don't need to screw it too hard, because after we assemble everything, we'll need to do small adjustments. So if it just holds it a little bit, that's more than enough for the moment. So on the sides of the fork, you will see these screws or nuts depending on the model that you purchased. We're just gonna unscrew them. These are for holding the mudguard holders. So I'm just gonna place it here and then screw it in place. Now we're ready to put the front tire into its place. Starting from 2017, we've been using hydraulic disc brakes as standard in all of our models. We're actually using Tektro Dorado HD E715 model, which is actually manufactured specifically for electric bicycles. So this is the only hydraulic disc brake in the market currently, which is specifically produced for high-speed electric bicycles. But with the hydraulic disc brakes, what happens is if the disc is not inside these pads, since it's hydraulic, they tend to close after a while. So before you put the front tire into its place, what we'll need to do is open these pads a little bit so that the disc can actually enter to the middle. So how we're going to do this is, you can do this with a credit card or something thin like I have here. We're just going to place it in the middle and just separate these pads from each other a little bit so that we will have enough space in order to get the disc entered to this space. After we have done that, we're just going to simply place the front tire into its place. Make sure that the disc is on the side of the brake pad. And that's it. From the toolbox, as you know, we have taken out a quick release. So I'm just going to open this, unscrew it, and just push it from the middle and screw it back to its place. After we have placed the front tire into its place, we can just go ahead and flip the bike over and then start unpacking the rest of the bike. You can just push the kickstand. The next step that we're going to do is align the stem handlebar with the front tire. So the easy way to do this is, we're just going to take our hexagonal key again, and just with this button, I'm just going to pull this lid and hold the bike like this. Make sure that the tire and the stem are in line, and I'm just going to now screw it further to stabilize it. After you cannot screw anymore, you just lock it, and on the sides there are two more screws to stabilize it. So I'm just going to screw those in as well, so that we don't have any surprises when we're riding these bikes. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to assemble the pedals onto the bike. On the pedals, I would like to remind you something. On this side of the pedals, let me try to show it to you closer. On this side of the pedals, it says R and L. This is R, this is L. So these are for left and right. Please pay attention to this, because if you get this wrong, then the whole crank arms need to be changed in the future, because they are screwed. After you cannot screw anymore with your hand, you can just take the key from here. So after this, as you remember from the box, we received we got a plastic cap for the rear tire. It goes to the left side of this nut. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push it in to its place. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is assemble the front light. In order to assemble the front light, we're just going to unscrew this screw, and I'm just going to place this through, again from the fork, and we screw it back on. Okay, after we do this, what I would suggest you to do is hold the front side up a little bit and then see if your front tire is touching to the mudguard. Oftentimes it requires a little bit of adjustment. So on this one, it actually touches to this side. So I'm just going to pull this side a little bit, checking the other side. And as you remember, we did not actually we did not screw in the mudguard very well when we were doing it at the beginning, because you always need to do some adjustments. So what I'm going to do now is, since it's okay now, I'm just going to go ahead and screw it tightly into its place so that it doesn't move. Okay, now the mudguard shouldn't be touching anything. Let's turn it, no voice at all. It's great. Done. The next step and the final step of assembly is assembling the headlight cables to the headlight. So here you will have, depending on the model of your bike, you will have 6 volt DC or you will have 48 volt DC. So we're just going to assemble these into their places. So when you're assembling, make sure the bike is completely disconnected. One of the cables has white dotted line and the other one has no line at all. The no line at all one means it's the minus one. So we're just gonna place this into minus on the 6 volt or 48 volt side. We're just gonna press it down. And the dotted line means the positive one, so I'm just going to press the positive one into the positive side at 6 volt or 48 volt side. So let's try it. Yeah, it's working. So that's all. The whole bike is actually assembled right now. The keys to the bike are usually kept on this side or under the saddle. So I just took them out prior to this, and I'm just going to place them into here, turn it to on, pressing power button for a while. It's already turned on, and the bike is ready to ride. We're just going to pump some air into the tires and then adjust the height of the saddle according to how you want it, and then you can actually adjust the handlebar height as you want it, and then what you need to do is you're just going to lock it and you're ready to go. As you can see, my rear light, tail light is working for brakes. If I turn the lights on, they're already working, both of them, so everything is good to go right now. If you want to learn more how to take out the battery, in order to replace it or just to take it to your home, there's a handle here. You're just going to press it upside and this whole saddle just locks out. You're just going to unlock the battery and you can actually take it out and charge it at your home, or if you do a very long commute, you can actually get 2 batteries and then change them during your commute. However, that being said, in 2018 models of the premium model, this is a W500 premium, we only provide 18 amp hour batteries using Panasonic battery cells. So that would give you a great range, about 70 to 80 miles. So I don't think anyone would need more than that, but if you actually need to commute more than that, you're always welcome to get a second battery, which is already in stocks, and you can order them. So enjoy your ride!